Okay, a very good evening to one and all. Welcome to this Sunday evening of the month of May. We have actually, as I mentioned the last time, that we have actually a long array of monks that we have scheduled for this special Vesak month. Um, and what we have today is actually a monk from Nepal. His name is Bhante Seelarathana. Bhante Seelarathana is not an unknown. He's known to us. He's been to Malaysia and he has been to Buddhist Mahavihara. He has stayed with us. He has also spoken at Buddhist Mahavihara at our Dhammadana series. Currently, Bhante is in Nepal and because of the COVID-19 situation, uh, he was not able to return to Malaysia but is residing in his monastery in Nepal. I will bring on Bhante Seelarathana shortly and I'll do a formal introduction of Bhante as soon as he comes online. Yeah. Uh,
Hello.
can you hear me? Can you hear me, Bhante?
Yes, I can hear you. Is it? Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. So I'm going to do a formal introduction of yourself, and then we will go straight into your Dhamma talk this evening, right? Okay. Let me just do a quick
Okay.
introduction. Bhante Seelarathana is actually a Nepalese monk who was ordained in Sri Lanka in 2006. He received his higher ordination in Thailand in 2016. Now, Bhante completed Dhammacharya and the Royal Pandit exams, including his primary and secondary education in Sri Lanka. He has taught children for 1 year in Kapilavastu in Nepal. He got his BA in English from the Maha Chulalongkorn University in Bangkok, Thailand, and he has a good knowledge of 7 languages and speaks 5 languages. And one of them is Sinhala, which he is very fluent with, better than me. And we are very happy and fortunate that we have Bhante Seelarathana here this evening to tell us a little bit about the hardships that he is facing and how people in Nepal are coping with the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic in Nepal. Bhante, over to you. Can you hear me now? Shall we start?
Yes.
Okay, please. Yeah.
Shall we start? Well, I would like to proceed Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namaste to you all, dear brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. This is Bhante Seelarathana from Nepal. I have been to Malaysia for several times. Even last year, I attended the Wasana period in Malaysia at Klang. Today, by today, I am living in Nepal at a Buddhist temple called Ananda Kuti Vihara, which is one of the old temple situated in middle of the Kathmandu, the city of the Nepal. So today I am going to share my personal experience a little bit during this pandemic, COVID-19, as well as the teachings of the Buddha that you can experience, you can observe, or you can practice, so that make you comfortable during this lockdown period. So uh, talking about this COVID-19, personally, I have faced a lot of problems, as Brother Leslie told before, that I was supposed to uh, come to the Malaysia for further education by last December, but because of some issues, I couldn't come over. Anyhow, I could I supposed to come to Malaysia in March. Anyhow, because of the lockdown and this pandemic 2019, I couldn't be there again. Also, I lost almost one semester of my master's degree in Malaysia. So personally, that time at the beginning, I went through some emotional difficulties, but practicing as a monk for many years and remembering the teachings of the Buddha, also meditating, also seeing the situation from different perspectives had helped me to overcome the feelings that I had during early in the pandemic days or lockdown days. So not only me, in Nepal, because of this not COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of people, all the rich people, also poor people, and all the people in different ages have faced different kind of challenges. Especially, I have to say that the daily wagers who used to earn some money and survive for that day have gone through a lot of issues. So throughout the news, I saw, I saw a lot of people who live in outside cities come to the Kathmandu and they work and they go back to their villages. But because of sudden lockdown, national-wide lockdown, these poor people, they couldn't go back to their villages. So they stuck in Kathmandu, literally they stuck in Kathmandu. So they didn't have enough money to survive for long, and government allowed them to uh, go out from the Kathmandu city. So a lot of people had problems with their foods, place to stay, and their health. So some of them, not some, but most of them, try to walk all the way to their villages. Sometimes it was around more than 300 kilometer and 400 kilometer to reach their villages. Even as a news, I saw that one person was dead when he tried to swim from very huge river at the border of India Nepal, try to come over from the India side to Nepal. One person died in the river as well. So not only these, not only poor people, also all people who used to work, all the businesses have gone down. All people uh, are facing uh, a big crisis by today. it can be economic or it can be financially. Whole country is facing a very big disaster. So in this period, we almost around 40 days of lockdown is still ongoing, that lockdown. So people are not allowed to go outside unless they do have emergency needs. So during this period, staying inside the home, not able to meet friends, not being able to conduct the daily activities we used to do, not be able to travel around, and not be able to celebrate parties and other things might bring us bad feelings, or we can say negative feeling. So what we can do? So I'm going to explain today five teachings of the Buddha that I observed during these lockdown days, I have to say. So I believe you might feel the same like me during this period. So the first one is uh, sometimes what we don't think of can be happen, and what we hope can be vanished. Buddha say this in Pali, Achinti tangpi bhavati, chinti tangpi vinasati. So this is very clear to us because nobody hope or nobody imagine that we have to go through this kind of uh, disaster, this kind of pandemic, this kind of uh, difficulties in this year. So nobody wish that, nobody want that, but still we we have to face it because Buddha has said that achintitampi bhavati, chintitampi vinasati. That means sometimes what we hope or what we wish might not be complete or it may vanish. So usually as a Buddhist devotees, Buddhist people, we annually celebrate Vesak ceremony very in a in a different way around the world. All the Buddhist people they go for uh, travels. Also, they organize different kind of offerings. Even in our temple, annually in Nepal, annually in this Swayambhunath temple, which is a very old British area of Nepal, annually on the Vesak day, around 5 to 10,000 people travel. They come to worship the Swayambhunath, which is on the top of the hill. So, as a Buddhist devotees, we manage, we offer them drinks, foods, whole day. But this year, we are not being able to conduct those ceremonies, those offerings on Vesak day. Anyhow, just because we can't commemorate the Buddha's birth, enlightenment, and parinibbana passing away in same way that we used to do annually, we are not going to stop. We will commemorate the way we can do in this year. That is why even Buddhist Mahavihara has organized uh, with new technique. Uh, the Buddhist Mahavihara has organized this Dharma sermon online. Actually, this is first time for me uh, to go live and share the experience, share the talk with all the people. So it's the first experience. I'm feeling very uncomfortable. I don't know who is seeing me and who is not seeing me. So it's quite a bit difficult to express my ideas in this way. Anyhow, we have to appreciate as a Buddhist, keeping our moralities and not harming others. We have managed to uh, explain, express our gratitude toward this online discussion or online Dhamma talks. I saw the list. A lot of venerables are from USA, Canada, all the senior venerables who are very famous and well practiced. But for me, I am not that much experienced by now, but I am very grateful, even though one side is not going well, but another side is going well for me. So I think I think the good side of area what is happening, so I can uh, bring or I can dwell in happiness. So the second sayings, teachings of the Buddha that I feel during this pandemic was uh, Sabbe sang jivitang piyang. In Pali, it is quoted as Sabbe sang jivitang piyang. It literal meaning of it is not only human being but all other beings love to live or desire to live with freedom. So this is uh, really personal experience because in my temple these days, I can see uh, monkeys, especially monkeys are normal, but monkeys they come to the temple to find some food. Not only monkeys, but also uh, birds and eagles and rats as well, and a lot of dogs. They are coming outside of their comfort zone these days. So what we can see is not only us, but all the animals, all the other beings, they love to live with freedom. So you may yourself can uh, imagine staying in a home, even having a lot of facilities like delivery facilities or advanced technology facilities. You can talk to other people. Still, you have freedom, but we have to see that some animals who are caged, who are uh, not having freedom and just uh, living to die is really sad thing that we can see. So we have to uh, look at it. We have to uh, remember or we have to learn this lesson that we have to treat all the beings as we treat ourselves. So we have to start loving ourselves and then we have to love the world. We have to love the other beings. We have to share the loving kindness. Otherwise, this desire can be very rude or can be very damaging. Why I'm saying that? Because in the modern era, as a human being, people have started take advantage of animals. What I'm trying to saying is that we love to eat. So loving to eat is desire to feed ourselves. Just to feed ourselves, we soon harm any other being. Lord Buddha has explained, uno loco atipto tanha daso. So this world, the man is a slave of desire. If a person is doing slavery for his own desires, he never feels satisfied. That means while we can have some nutrition, we can have some food, vegetables that we can survive, but if we desire to eat, have different taste, or try different foods, meats, it becomes disaster. That desire brings us to kill thousands of innocent animals, which is not so not good idea at all, or it can make us a very bad people, evil, immoral people. Therefore, we have to think twice. If we love to live with freedom, it goes the same with other people. So next time when we think of bringing a dog in house and caging that dog or animal, or bringing a pet to our house and treating them as our own family member, so it is your choice how you see that pet after this lockdown period. So next teachings of the Buddha I remember, or I focus during this pandemic was, you are responsible for decision you make. You are responsible for decisions you make. In Pali, it says, Attahi attano nato. Actually, the meaning is, you are your own refugee, which is, I try to translate as, you are responsible for your own decisions. So what I mean by that is, we know that everybody is panicked during these days. Somebody wants to go out, but it's not allowed. So it is not allowed, not because they want us to keep, or they want us to uh, feel is restricted, not because of that, because they want us to stay safe. So keeping us safe, we can see a lot of health workers, soldiers, police officers, they are putting their lives on risk. Even throughout the news, we already know that many, some of the doctors, especially uh, some health workers, they caught this COVID-19, while doing their job at hospital, or during their duty. So it means that whatever decision we make during this pandemic is so critical. So you have to think twice whether you should go out just to see around, or you should stay at home and stay safe. Another thing is, when you make decision, you have to think wisely, because sometimes uh, throughout the online we receive different kind of notifications, different kind of news. Reading those news, watching those videos, we come to some conclusion which is very negative about some people. So I don't think it is wise, because these news and the online platform sometimes fulfill with what we call spoils, or what we call is spams, which is not true, and which is targeting us. to fill our mind with negativity. So we have to be very awareful when we go through these online news and online uh, ideas come to our phones. So when we see those things, we have to make a correct decision, a right decision whether I should take it as a uh, right thing or I just should let it go. So it's up to us ourselves. Then the uh, fourth sayings I wanted to share with you today is that health is the best resource we must maintain because arogya paramalabha. Buddha said the health is the best wealth you can have, which is crystal clear by now. Everybody is trying to save their life, save their health because of our health risks. Not only us, but World Health Organization advise us to stay at home for as a quarantine. So we are doing it because we love our health. So when we talk about health, it is it can be physical health, also mental health, and also social health and emotional health. So physical health, we can do some exercises when we are at home, and also we can uh, follow YouTube videos or online tutors to follow how we can manage our diet system or the food system, nutrition system, as well as uh, about the mental health. We'll talk after this. And the social health, actually, we are not interacting with uh, other friends and relatives physically, but still we can talk to them. We can share our feelings, what we are feeling, and how we are managing our those emotions during this pandemic, which bringing us inferiority or feeling unsafe, uncertainty. Then emotional health also the same, that we have to be aware what is going on in our mind so we can handle all the things. So uh, uh, we can read and practice these Buddha teachings in order to develop emotional and mental health. That is the fourth teachings of the Buddha I can bring or during this pandemic. So I feel okay with it when I go through this mentality. So I try to remember the teachings of the Buddha and practice mindfulness, especially the meditation, so I can uh, deal with the feelings which bring me negativity. So next, the last, the fifth one, uh, what I feel that very useful during this hardship, during this uncertainty time, is uh, developing our mind bring us happiness. So this word Buddha explains as chittang dantang sukhavahang. The protected, developed mind always bring inner happiness to you. So here develop means meditation. So meditation requires develop our mind. There are many ways in Buddhism we can develop, we can practice our mind, not just anapanasati. So I'm not going to talk about that today. There are different ways. One is that recollecting of merits you have done in your life. So recollecting the merits, good deeds, good memories you have done during your life in order to fight negative feelings which accumulating in your mind. So for me, during this uh, difficult, hard time, I used to recollect recently done merits that I uh, joined, like in November when I came back from Malaysia to Nepal. We conducted uh, Katina Dana with Malaysian devotees, and then also we joined for the international chanting in Lumbini, which is the birthplace of the Buddha, and I participated in some volunteering activities before this pandemic. So I tried to remember, recollect, remind those nice memories, or we say meritorious deeds, in order to feel comfortable, in order to accumulate inner happiness within my mind. So another one is sharing loving kindness to the world. This is very powerful meditation, mental practice we can do. We can do this every day before go to sleep. We have to feel grateful for all the health workers who are working non-stoply in order to keep us safe. We can then share loving kindness. We can wish good for them, good health for them, as well as we can feel grateful for all the farmers, or we can feel grateful for all the uh, people who are working hard during this pandemic in order to uh, bring save to the world, or in order to bring this world to the normal as before, and we can share loving kindness with them. So this metta nusati, or recollection of loving kindness, sharing loving kindness, is very powerful mental practice as a personal person we can develop. And the third one is the reflection of emotions. So this is quite tricky mental practices. Why? Because sometimes we cannot understand what is our emotion, how it is accumulating, and what are the reasons, and how can we control it. So, in order to protect our mind from negative emotions and thoughts, and also feelings, we have to have wisdom. We have to have panya. So when bad emotion or negative emotion arise in our mind, we feel sad. We may feel angry. So when we feel sad or angry, we have to acknowledge it. We have to be aware, mindful. So when we know it, that it is coming from that area of my mind or that situation of my life, then we can stop, or we can let it go. Let go the feelings, and just observing that my emotions are arising. Because of that, I'm feeling sad, unhappy, but it is not permanent, it will go. So in this way, is a kind of, we can say inside meditation, we can develop in order to keep our mind in peace and happiness. So in that way, we can be happy even the environment is not safe for us. Anyhow, I would like to share a small story which represent all these five sayings of the Buddha, and it is very clear that not only today, not only the present moment, we are having this kind of crisis or pandemic, but in the history, it has been happened many times. Even in 2015, in April, Nepal had a very big disaster, which was the earthquake. Even tsunami in Sri Lanka, uh, we can say the natural disaster. So I would like to share a very nice or very good example for these, which come in Jataka story, which called Samudra Vanijja Jataka. This Jataka is 450 and 55th Jataka in Jataka book. So you can go and find out if you feel that you want to read about the Jataka. So it comes as long ago when a king called Brahmad was ruling the country. In a village, there were thousands of carpenters, thousands of, yes, the carpenters, right? Uh, so these thousands of carpenters, among them, most some of them they corrupted, they try to lie people, cheat people, and ask for money, saying that we will make you house, we will make you doors, we will make you furniture. So they cheated on people. So people believing them, carpenters, give the money. But later on, after a while, carpenters didn't make any houses, any furniture for the people in the villages. And those villagers strike on them. They ask for money and they thrill. If you don't give money, we will harm you. So these thousands of carpenters not able to build any uh, furnitures or houses for the villagers, they decided to leave the village. So thousands of these carpenters made a huge ship and they leave the village and they went to the sea. So while traveling through sea, they saw island. So they went to this island and they met a person and they asked if this island is suitable to live. And that person said, of course, this island is very fruitful, all prosperous with a lot of fruits and a lot of vegetables. You can live here, but you have to be moral. You have to love the island. You are not allowed to destroy or make dirty of this island. So they promise, okay, we will do that. So then they start living in island. Soon, the among thousands of carpenter, they divided into two groups. One group was 500 carpenters, led by a immoral, nasty, evil person, evil leader, and another group was led by a moral, wise person. So uh, then the group of 500, which was led by this evil leader, they destroy the nature of the island. They used to eat, drink alcohol, make a dirt all around the island, and soon island was a disaster. People damaged it, those 500 carpenters. Then one night, a person came and told this both leader that something is going to happen. So therefore, careful or stay aware. So this evil leader, immoral leader, say, why should we believe you? We don't care. So they live as before. They still drink alcohol, eat and throw, and destroy the jungle in Ireland and make dirt of it. But another wise leader, which who leaded the 500 of other carpenters, they built another ship. They build a ship so they stay aware if anything goes wrong. So next day, the sea start flooding. At the first attempt, water came to the lake. At second, it come to the feet. Second attempt, and third attempt, it come to the hip. In this way, by the seventh attempt, the water flooded over and whole island was uh, taken by the sea. While those 500 of carpenters who were unwise and just enjoying and destroying the nature, another 500 of carpenters, they took the ship and went away. So the carpenters who were in island destroy themselves. So the moral of this story is we have nature. If we don't know how to get benefited from the nature, a lot of desires, endingless of desires, if we made a bad decision, if we hurt the nature or bring harm to the nature, we will destroy ourselves. Or if we be mindful and if we be aware what's going around us and within us, we can survive like wise 500 carpenters. So this story can connect with all those 5 points I share with you today. The first one is the achintitampi bhavati, chintitampi vinastati. What we can hope, sometimes what we hope cannot be complete, or what we don't think of can be happen. And the second one is sabbe sanjeevitampi, yang not only human beings but every beings love to live. And also attahi attanonato, so your decisions always leads you, so you have to be responsible what decision you make in each and every situation or every problems in your life. And the fourth one is arogya paramalabha, which is the health is very important in person's life. It is important more important than the your wealth. because it may take you to make money for 50 years, but you can finish it within 5 minutes or 5 days if your health is not good. So we have to always check out our physical, mental, and social and emotional health. And the fifth one is Chittang Dantan Sukhawahang, protected mind, well developed mind, well practiced mind always bring inner happiness within you. So these are the five teachings I myself feel, I myself practice, I myself observe during this lockdown period. So I believe that you might feel the same at some point. So I would like to go for the, I would like to wind up the today Dhamma talk. But before that, uh, we would like to uh, share.
Bante,
Okay,
there is a question for
I
you.
think Brother Leslie and me,
Yeah, there's a
I'm not
question for you,
sure how
Bante.
we.
There's a question. Um, Let me put it on the screen for you. Are you able to see the screen? Are you able to
Not
read from
so.
the screen? The question says,
No, I cannot
Bante.
see the screen actually. So you can.
Okay, I will read the question to you.
Okay,
Uh, Bante, thanks for the advice about the
okay,
negative opinions and posts on social media. How about the negative comments and
again,
discussions?
can. Oh yeah.
Uh, okay, how about
Uh-huh.
the negative comments and discussions that
Yes.
happen every day in the
Uh-huh.
family? How do we overcome
In the
when
family, right?
in the family, okay, internally, right? So how do we
Okay.
overcome when we
Okay,
can't
okay. So you
offend
mean,
the discussion?
okay. So you mean that how do we overcome the bad discussion within a family?
Yeah.
Am I
So
right?
how do you not? So in your family, maybe how do you not offend somebody else in the family? But because you're now in a lockdown
Okay.
situation, yeah.
Okay. Not often the family member in a discussion. So as I understood, during this period, we have a lot of discussion within our family. So for me, it's been around 30 over days. I haven't seen my father and brother. My mother, actually, I saw her before 2 weeks ago when she came to city uh, to buy some groceries because in village not available to buy. So even in our family, we have very strange, not the strange, but the discussion which is not same because my father or when my father wants to stay at home, my mother might wants to go to work because sometimes she may feel that she have to earn some money so she can survive because personally my family is daily wages they earn and they live they have to survive that day so they can work next day so sometimes the uh, ideas clash so when ideas clash in a family if you are a wise person then maybe you are knowledge person or wise person or you are practicing this meditation buddhism listening to the dhamma talk you have to let it go why because I even when ideas come up if we know that we cannot change the other person's perspective why should we clash because sometimes we hurt their ego right So everybody have their own ego in some level. If we know that in case we uh, clash our idea with them, if we hurt them, it's better we let it go. Or if we can uh, explain the same idea in a calm way, or not offending them, or not hurting their ego, I think it might be helpful in a family decision. But my suggestion is always uh, let it go. If you cannot uh, explain the thing or any ideas to your family member, let it go. I think it is the best way to deal with problems. Personally, I try to let it go the matters what I cannot control. So what I can control within myself, I control. What I cannot control outside of my mind or outside of me, I let it go.
Thank you, Bante. I think that was a question from Sister Siu Mei. So I hope Bante has adequately responded to your question. There is another question, Bante. I think this will be the last question. We have to end shortly. The question is, how do we meditate on sending loving kindness? Is it the same as reciting the Metta Sutta silently in our mind? Is there any simpler way? How do we meditate
Okay,
on sending loving
okay. So
kindness? Is it the same as reciting the Metta Sutta
loving
silently in your
kindness,
mind?
yes.
Yeah. Is there any other way, simpler way?
Okay, okay, okay. So the question is how we do this sending loving kindness of meditation. So it's, I have to say, quite complicated idea. And another one is not scientifically proven, but we know we can do it. So uh, it is like sharing our feelings. It doesn't uh, need to be uttered. Sometimes we don't need to say, of course, when we do at the temple, usually we say, uh, Ahang Avero Homi, or this kind of stanzas in order to share loving kindness. So verbally, we can uh, utter these stanzas, these sentences in order to share or send our loving kindness. But mentally also, when we think and we feel and we try to share that loving kindness, even we cannot see with our eyes, there is some what we call energy we put in this universe, or that energy, of course, flow around the world. So it is actually scientifically not proved, I have to say that. But in Buddhism, we believe that uh, there are still a lot of things that our eye or our sensual factors cannot perceive. Even we know that this virus, when we talk about this virus is, we cannot see this virus. In order to see virus or even perceive in some level that virus, we need to have what scientists call is that screening electron. Uh, I forget SEM. There are scope, screening electron microscope and transmission electron microscope, so that that scope can see in some level, perceive in some level. So it means that there are a lot of things we don't know, but as a Buddhist, we believe, uh, when we feel, when we put our mind and we share our feelings, there is some energy coming out from us. So practicing this uh, every day for a long time may change your personality. Maybe sometimes you see when you practice this loving kindness, so it doesn't necessarily need to uh, do utterly or throughout the world. We can still do it within our mind. Why we do by voice is that when we say, so when we say, our mind is actually more aware. But when we don't say, our mind is not aware for a long time. Therefore, that if you can sit with family and do this 5 minutes of loving kindness, sharing this Mettanusati Bhavana, it is very wonderful. If not, when you go to the sleep, go to the bed, before you close your eyes, uh, before you sleep, if you can do 2 or 3 minutes of loving kindness, you just be grateful and be thankful and share and wish good of other people in the world. It may change your life and it may brings you happiness as well. Because what you throw, it comes to you.
Thank you, Bhante. I think you've adequately replied to that question and answered the query. I think we'd like to end the discussion this evening. Bhante, would you like to transfer the merits to the Devas and dearly departed?
Yes, 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 yes.
Shall we
Okay.
can do it? Shall we do it now?
So, yes, we will do. Okay. Okay. So now we are going to uh, share actually the merits we have accumulated throughout this short Dhamma talk. And I would like to apologize for any mistakes I have done mentally, physically, and verbally. And especially, I would like to remember, share this merit with all the chief reverend of Buddhist Mahavihara, uh, also all the venerables at Buddhist Mahavihara, and all the venerable Mahasangha in Malaysia, in Nepal, around the world, and also uh, all the amazing people who have supported me throughout my life, and also the brother Leslie and all the organizer of this online Dhamma talks for this Vesak 2020. So I would like to share these merits with all of you and all the beings in the world. May all the beings be happy and healthy and safe. May you all be happy and healthy and safe. May you be able to practice your mind well. And at the end, may you all be able to attain the final emancipation, which we call Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. As well as today, I would like to especially uh, share this merit with the Sanghanayaka, Venerable Sanghanayaka, Venerable Jnanapurnika Mahathera of Nepal, because in Nepal we have agreed these 7 days from today on um, at 5:15 p.m. Nepal time in every temple we decided to chant Bojjhanga Sutta, wishing our Sanghanayaka Thera speedy recovery and good health because he have gone through this dialysis. And of course, I know that most of you know the Venerable Nana Purnika as well, because he is also quite famous in Malaysia around the world. So may he gain good health, speedy recovery, and he live long. At the end, may he also be able to attain the final emancipation, which we call Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now we will share the meritorious energies we have accumulated to all the divine beings, all the devas. May they receive these meritorious energies. May they be happy. May they protect us back. May their samsara journey be uh, safe and happy as well. At the end, may they also be able to attain the final salvation of Nibbana. Let's recite the Gatha. Akasattha ca bhummatta devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu sasanang akasattha ca bhummatta devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu desanang Akasattha ca bhummatta devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu mang paranti. As well as uh, we would like to share, transfer these meritorious energies to all the departed relatives of ours. May they all receive these meritorious energies. May they be happy wherever they are. May their samsara journey be fulfilled with uh, happiness. And at the end, may they also be able to attain the final salvation of Nibbana. Let's recite. Idang me nyati nang hutu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hutu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hutu sukhita hontu nyatayo. As well as at the end, me myself and all the devotees who are watching online, and all the devotees who will watch this video online, may you all be happy. May all of your families, relatives also be well and happy and healthy. May your this life be fulfilled with happiness, good health, long life, and prosperity, and all the success. May all of your good wishes come true. May all of your samsara journey also be well and safe at the end. May you all be able to attain the final salvation of Nibbana. I would like to uh, uh, recite the stanza in order to wish you good health and good luck. Sabbithiyo vivaccantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavattvantarayo sukhi dikayuko bhava bhavatu sabba mangalan rakkantu sabba devata sabba buddhanubhavena sada sotti bhavantu te bhavatu sabba mangalan rakkantu sabba devata sabba dhammanubhavena sada sotti bhavantu te Bhavatu sabba mangalan rakhantu sabba devata sabba sanganubhavena sada sotti bhavantu te. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Bhante, for a wonderful sharing this evening. I'm sure all our
Thank
listeners
you so much. You
had a
all
very good and
stay
enlightening.
safe and stay healthy.
Yeah, I'm sure all our devotees had a very enlightening evening, and we look forward to seeing you in Malaysia again, Bhante. Hopefully, after the pandemic is over and you can come back
Okay,
do your studies, your master's program. Yeah, and
okay, okay. Yes,
wish you
yes.
all the best and stay safe in Nepal. Yeah.